Hello everybody, it's Gemma here from madebygemmacrafts.co.uk. Thank you all for joining me again. Today being Tuesday is another Technique Tuesday video, and today I have chosen to do some heat embossing, and this is the card here that I've made, and I will just tilt this, there we go, tilt it to the light so that you can see that I've clear embossed over the entire sentiment on this. And I've also used a few layers of clear embossing powder as well, just to try and build it up and give it maybe an enamelled look, like so. So I'll be showing you how I done that. The stamp set that I've used for this card is in the Spring Summer catalogue, and it's called Nailed It. Which is a great set for making your more masculine cards, and we've got our Happy Father's Day sentiment on there as well. Also, the designer series paper that I've used is also in the Spring Summer catalogue, and it's the Urban Underground Speciality Designer series paper. Just give you a quick look at that, maybe to the side. This is 12 sheets, and 2 of the sheets have got some foiling on them as well. And apart from the 2 foiled sheets, they're all double-sided, so quick flick through. Now just flip it over and you've got some other patterns and colours. The colours that are in this are Delightful Dijon, Basic Grey and Very Vanilla. So that's what I've used to make up my card today. So if I just pop this over to one side, bring in all the bits and bobs that we need to make our card. I've got some bits here to build our rosette up for the front of our card. A scrap of Very Vanilla to stamp our sentiment on. I've got another piece of Very Vanilla here with another strip of patterned paper for the inside of our card, and one piece for the front, and our card base here, which is Basic Grey, and this is 5 3/4 inch by 8 1/4, and I've just scored that at 4 1/8 down the middle to give us our card blank. So what we're going to do first is some heat embossing. So if I just mind our rosette bits out of the way, grab my stamp set. So I've got some Delightful Dijon ink here. We're going to use our Happy Father's Day stamp. So we're just going to ink up and stamp that on our scrap of Very Vanilla, like so. Just going to let that dry off a little, because we're going to come in with our Versamark ink so we can do some heat embossing. There we go. All dry. So what we need to do is we need to grab a piece of scrap paper. There we go. And then we're going to take our ink, our Versamark, and we are just going to put it all over the top of our stamped sentiment. Give it a good press down, make sure it's got a good covering over it. There we go, you can see that it's got a nice coating. And then I've got my clear embossing powder here, and I'm just going to cover the whole thing with powder, like so. Tap off the excess. So what we're going to do now is going to heat our powder up to melt it, but while our powder has melted and is hot, we're going to go in and put some more embossing powder over the top. So just a word of warning, I will be using my heat gun now, so it may come out a little loud. I just turn this on. Also, when you're heat embossing, it's a good idea to let your heat gun warm up before you put it to where you're embossing, because it does help with the paper warping less as you're heating it up. You can see that's just starting to go now. Getting a bit hot. Hot, hot, hot. There we go. Okay. So while this is still very hot and melted, we're just going to go in and put another layer of powder on top. With a good liberal dusting. We're going to heat it up again. And one more layer, I think. Like so. Just going to melt that one. There we go, all done. So there we have our sentiment, and it's been completely embossed over the top. So it's all nice and shiny. And we've built up and put 3 layers of our clear embossing powder on there. So you just need to leave that to cool down. So while that is cooling down, just pop it over here, we can put together our rosette for the front of our card. So I have a strip of patterned paper here. Now this started off the full length 12 inches, and I've just cut a strip off that's 1.5 inches. And then I popped it on my scoring board, and I've scored at every 1/4 inch. And then I've just concertinaed to fold it, like so. And then on this end here, I'll just take this sticky strip off, the back off. I can never find the bit at the end. There we go. So we're just going to join that to make a circle, like so. And then we can pop that down flat and push down on the middle to form our rosette, like so. So now the best thing to use is some hot glue to stick this down. As always, please be very careful when you're using your hot glue gun. It is, as it says, extremely hot. So I will try not to burn myself while I'm doing this. And the little circle that I've got here in basic grey, I've just used my 1 1/4 inch circle punch to punch that out. So you just hold that in place for a moment. Like so. And then I've got another circle here which I've cut out using a 2 inch circle punch, basic grey again. So we can just pop a little bit of hot glue on the top here and put that on there, like so, to hold our rosette in place. You just hold that down for a second so it's stuck firmly. There we go. So there's the main part of our rosette made. So now I have 2 little strips of paper, and these are 3/4 inch by 4 inches. And I'm just going to cut some tails into the bottom. I'm just going to do this by eye. I'm just going to pop one on top of the other and just snip a little triangle out the bottom. And then you, oh, it's trying to pop open. There we go. Just hold that down for a second longer. There we go. So now we can lay these on top of each other. Get some glue. Out you go. Okay, no wet glue left, let's use some more hot glue. There we go. We can just lay those on top of each other, like so, to make the tails for our rosette, and that will sit on top of there. So we can just flip our rosette over, bit more glue, turn this over and pop it onto the back of our rosette, like so. And then we can use our other 2-inch circle just to cover up the back of our rosette, like so. Also, you've got a nice surface area for gluing it to the back of your card. There we go, like so, and there's our rosette made. So now all we need to do is cut out our sentiment, which is now cooled down. So I'm just going to cut this out quite quickly by eye. Nice easy shape to cut out. There we go, when we have our sentiment, and just grab a couple of dimensionals and we can pop that on the front of our rosette. Like so. And there we go, we have our rosette with our lovely clear embossed enamel looking sentiment on the front. So now we just need to put the rest of our card together. By bringing my bits and bobs. So this piece of patterned paper is 3 7/8 by 5.5 inches. And what I've done today is I have gone round and inked the outside, around the outside of my patterned paper, just using some Delightful Dijon. This is going around the edge of your card with some ink is a great way to add some dimension to your card without using another layer of card, therefore making the front of your card a bit top heavy, because our rosette is already quite bulky, so we don't want it falling over. I'm just using one of the little sponge daubers from the annual catalogue, like so. And I also went round the outside of my rosette as well. Don't need to be too precise. Just give it a bit of ink round the outside. And across the tails. Like so. I'll just close this ink up. So now we can put this on the front of our card. There we go, so I've got the glue working now. A bit too well. So we just pop this on the front. Like so. And we can just use a bit more wet glue to pop our rosette on the front. so. Then for the inside of our card, I just want to do a quick little bit of stamping on there. So I'm going to be using the sentiment from the Nailed It stamp set, which says, "Thanks for always building me up." I'm just going to use some basic grey to stamp that. There we go. Then we can just pop this inside our card. Just bring that down slightly inside. So then we've got our little piece of patterned paper, which we're just going to pop across the top here, just to finish off the inside, to bring it all together, like so. And there's our card, all done, with our lovely clear embossed sentiment on the front of our rosette, and the inside finished as well. There we go. There, thank you all for watching today. As always, I will put all the measurements and a list of everything I used on my blog, and I'll put a link to that in the description box. Also, just don't forget, at the moment it's also Celebration, so for every £45 you spend with Stampin' Up, you'll get to choose something out of the Celebration catalogue for free. So take a look, and I will see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.